Good afternoon. Happy Monday. Welcome to Clarity. My name's Barbara Gray, and I'm set to show you some tricks and tips, launch a brand new, beautiful single stamp, which I think you'll enjoy. So come on in. It's Mini Makes Monday, and we'll let some of our friends find us first. The weather's awful here in the southeast of England. There's no better weather like this for crafting, though. So always turn a positive. Grace is in the room with our good selves from New York. So if Grace could just let me know that she's good and ready to go, then we can get started. Nice cup of tea. I've got to tell you, it's so hectic here at the moment. We are really spinning like tops at the moment because we're getting ready for the open days and the workshops. And there's so much new. I wanted to shine a light on a couple of the new things that are being launched at the open days as well, so that you get a taste for what's coming up if you're coming. True to form, somebody cancelled my workshop. I only said this morning that it was sold out, but that there are usually a cancellation or two. And if there was, then I would let you know. So there has been a cancellation. So there is a slot available on Sunday's workshop if you want to join myself. I've no idea where the tickets are now, but Grace will give you the link, I'm sure. Oh, here they are. Okay. So there's one slot left on my workshop. Open day tickets, let's have a look. So we've got Friday and Saturday tickets. You can see them here, 60214, 60215. If you wanted to make a day of it, of course, then, or a weekend of it, you could book yourself an overnighter somewhere, and then you could join Linda's workshop. She's still got a couple of spots available. You can book that online as well, 60217. Or if you want the Inky Arty experience, then there's a slot left on my workshop, 60216. So there you go. We were just laughing. Gracie sent me a video, because we communicate most days. And yesterday she texted me a video of herself in November 2020 during lockdown. And it was funny because now it's November 2025 and it reminded me of me. It was brilliant. And I think I'm going to show this video of Grace. Okay. So are you ready? Or shall I wait until we've got a few more friends in the room? In a minute, Grace is going to go, don't you dare. I'll show you. Let me just see if I can get it started. Oh.
Today has been one of those days I ain't even made the bed. I ain't even made the bed. I haven't had coffee. I ain't showered.
It's my mad daughter. Have you met Grace? She's going to be at the open days, so I'm sure I'm sure you'll recognise her. Yeah, she's such a scream. Do you remember lockdown? That was chaos, wasn't it? We're not going to go back to that. There's no way we're going to go back to that. But we have to be careful that we don't get overwhelmed, don't we? I was talking about it this morning, in the shack. Sometimes it just gets overwhelmingly busy, and then you forget to look after yourself, as Grace so succinctly pointed out. I know, fabulous. Anyhow, let's get back to what we're doing today. I wanted to shine a light on a really neat let me have a look. I want to shine a light on a really super brand new little stamp set. In fact, it's just a single stamp. It's ideal. And you can see here, it's Kiss by Clarity, Merry Christmas Retro Candle, A6 square stamp set. So it's a small stamp set, and you can see here it's £8.99, less of course your club discount. So if we take a look here now, you can see this is the stamp. This is the way it comes. It's one of our Kiss range. Keep it simple stamps. So this is one of Tina Cox's original designs. Well, it's taken from one of Tina Cox's original designs, and we've changed it into a Christmas stamp. So originally this was birthday, and we thought it'd be really useful as a Christmas stamp. So this is a beautiful brand new stamp, hasn't been seen before. In fact, this is hot off the press. In fact, I don't think this has even gone out to the design team. So Eileen Godwin was the young lady who requested it, because she's doing demonstrations at our open days on the Friday and the Saturday. And she asked me if there would be any chance of getting the happy birthday stamp made into a happy Christmas stamp. So of course, Jazz, no problem. So there we are. That's 1, 2, 2, 3, 1. Now I want to show you where that is from, because there's a journey. Before we do any demos, let me just show you. Grace says, see you tomorrow. Right. There's a journey on where these stamps came from. And I want to show you where it came from originally. Let me take my tea out of the way, because I see it happening before it's even happened. Right, let's put that over to one side. And I want to show you, let me pan out a little bit, and then I'll show you where the idea came from. Now you can see here retro candles, and you can see here there's a happy birthday stamp. See it? And now we've turned it into Merry Christmas, just so that you know that's where it's come from. So talking about the journey, let's take a look, for example, at this trilogy of, there are 2 sets altogether. I'll just put this to one side for the moment, and let's just take a look at the set of 3 that's on the screen at the moment. You can see it. It's 11812. Of course, they're all available individually, but 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday is our Clarity TV, and it's our Selly Telly. So I'm going to shine a light on loads of different products, loads of ideas, and I challenge Grace to keep up with me and give you the links. Or they're on the screen here. So let's take a look. We've got 3 beautiful stamp sets here, A5 stamp sets. You can see, let's take a look at the actual artwork, the designs. If we take a look at this middle one first, that one, the banners, you can see the stamps actual size. They're a good, beautiful size, and this has got a couple of words with it. Really nice. For you with love. It is your day today. Wishing you happiness. So you can see this is the banners set, and that's how it comes inside here. And there's just a nice color ideas for you there. And then we've got the birthday one. So this is the retro birthday. You can see here again, happy birthday. It's lovely, this real 1960s look. Celebrate candle, and the ties, really neat, the tie stamp here. So that's also a smashing set. And then thirdly, let's take a look here. No, not that one. It's this one. So beautiful retro hearts and leaves. You can see this is Tina Cox at her best. Beautiful half and half hearts, leaves on your special day with love. So those were the 3 sets in set. These were the stamp sets in set 1, if you like. So we've got the hearts and leaves, we've got the candles and birthdays, and then we've got the banners. And as it says on the screen here, all 3 of them together, 11812. That's a 57.97, so about £20 a set, less your club discount. If you're a Diamond Club member, then you're actually you're spending less than £50. It's already a £5 saving on this bundle, which is pretty cool. And that will bring it down to 57.97. If you're a club member, you can see the light teal colours underneath that price. You can see if you're a member of one club, then you save 10%. In addition, 12.5% if you're a member of 2 clubs, and then 15% is for our Diamond Club members, and they save 15%, which brings it down to 49.27, and that saves them £13.70 altogether. So that's the first set I wanted to show you. Okay, there's another set. I kind of want to take you on the journey of these Tina's retro stamps, because they're pretty superb, and they haven't really been shown off that much. So I think it'd be nice to have a closer look at them one day. So you can see here we've got retro stars and with a candle. Then we've got retro triangles, rather special. And then we've got retro bubbles. So this is the second set. Let me just show you that set there. Bubbles, stars and triangles. And the code for this particular trio of beautiful stamps is 11813. Again, always available individually. And there will be an online shop where everything is gathered together for you. If you're new to Clarity, then if you go to our website, what you'll see is the website's changed a little bit, but in essence, it's still the same. We're just trying to make it easier to navigate for you. We're going to introduce different facilities, functions, wish lists, lots of different things. You'll soon get the hang of it if you're used to the old website. It's not that different. But what you'll see is on the top, in the top corner, there will be a teal box and it will say Clarity TV, just like the teal box behind me. If you click that, you'll find all the recordings. This is our catch up, if you like. If you miss a TV show, you can always go back and watch, and it will say shop the show. And shop the show means anything that we have used during the shows will be loaded into that area. And then also we usually have digital downloads. So when we're launching something, there'll be a project or and you can download a project really. The only thing is with this one, it's just the one stamp set. And also, I got to say, you saw the video from Grace. We're up against it at the moment. And so we've kind of prioritized a little bit, and there's no digi download today. Let's take a look at these stamps now as they come printed actual size for you. Let's take a look at the retro bubbles first. That's this one, really beautiful. Birthday greetings, retro bubbles, really nice to use. I mean, we have got so much artwork to show these off. I made a decision to just focus on the smaller artwork since it's Mini Makes Monday. I'll show you in a moment. You'll see plenty of artwork using this art. So here we go. These are the triangles you can see. Great. Happy birthday, celebration, love and hugs. And then thirdly, last but not least, the stars. So what's included here? It's Your Day, My Hero, My Star, another candle. This is really Stars and Stripesy, isn't it? Very nice. It reminds me of the States. Have a great day. So that trio is 11813. You can see it in the top corner there. So those are the 2 sets of stamps. And this was a big collection that Tina illustrated for us, and we created 6 big, beautiful, bold A5 sets of stamps for yourselves. So then we looked at these, Mini Makes Monday. You know, this is that whole journey that we're on, where we say these are beautiful. Of course they are. In fact, the new stamp that we're launching today, which is this one, this is the same size as the birthday stamp in that particular kit. So it's lovely. It's just one single stamp, but it really does pack a punch. So we looked at those, and then we decided to make a sampler. So the sampler, let me show you over here, it's funny because it's a whole combination of all those 6 sets, all in one A4 sampler, which we love the samplers because it means you get loads. It's a big stamp, but you get loads of images. So all those images that I just showed you in those 6 big sets are now condensed into one large A5 stamp set you can see here. And then we've also added a little A6 set of all the different words as well. So now we've combined everything into much smaller size. Just to give you a comparison of size, I've just picked one stamp to show you. So here, for example, this is Eileen's work. You can see the heart there. Here is the same heart on the sampler. So you can see it here. Yeah, I mean, there's so much this is so involved. If you haven't got this set, let me tell you, you don't know what you're missing. If I show you the actual printout, here we go. Let me show you these 2. We've got that, and then I'll show you the printout from the words as well. It's fantastic. So you can see here how many you recognize the banners, the hearts, the ties, the stars, and there is the little birthday stamp as opposed to the large birthday stamp. You can see the difference here, can't you? So I just wanted to say that it's in there too. So it's great for mini makes and little stamp creations. And then this is all the words from those 6 sets, all compressed into one here. Happy birthday, etc. I don't know if they're all there, but they certainly, there's plenty there to get your teeth into. Yeah, so I've already got my set ready to go. I'll show you a trick. And because it's Mini Makes Monday, I'm going to concentrate on this particular set. How's that? Good. So that set, if we look at the screen there, you can see for the duo, i.e. for not just the sampler, but also the words set, it's 11953, and you'll be paying £37.98. So again, you're saving £5. If you're in the clubs, you can see all the discounts on your screens there, 10, 12.5 and 15%. It does make sense to join a club or 2 or even 3. And you know, the clubs, they're very they're all about education, really. The discount is a bonus. It's worth joining just for the discount, but you get new designs, you get double projects. It's a building project. Every month we send you an envelope, and in that envelope you receive a brand new stamp or stencil or groovy plate, depending on which club you're in. You get double projects. So we make a little booklet and we make a card and we take photographs of it. So it's all step by steps. And there are always 2 for each project, for each product. And then there's a newsletter that I write every month. And it's not expensive when you realize, I think it's like £7 per club per month. You know, what can you get for £7 nowadays? I know, it just about covers the postage, to be fair. And that we're not even talking about the discount at that point. So that's something to consider. You know, make a nice Christmas present to yourself. join a club or rejoin a club, or treat yourself to a double down, join 2 clubs. You know, I always think that stamps and stencils go well together for me. The biggest club is the Groovy Club. Loads of people in the Groovy Club. Stamps next and then stencils. But for me, I've always said the Stencil Club is great. But then I'm a mixed media sort of person, aren't I? See, these stamps are beautiful. But I think, and this is why Eileen Godwin requested that we make this stamp, because at the open days, she's a stencil girl too, but she likes big, bold stamps. So, right, now let's have a look. What can I show you today? What can I show off? I'll just have a sip of tea and then we'll get started. How's that? Okay, so Gracie, everything all right? Let's get started. I wanted to show you a little bit of artwork first with these, because I think this is where you really get to see what the stamps actually can do for you. So I decided to take the smaller, the sampler, Mini Makes Monday, right? And I'm going to take the smaller set of stamps, the smaller images, and show you the cards. If you like the big and bold ones like Eileen does, then, you know, they're available too. But let's just take a look at some artwork. I'm just going to come in a little bit closer so that you can enjoy the art. Right, so you can see here, smaller images, making beautiful little cards. Who did that? Sonia Goodliff, very nice. Dee Paramore, see, there's the retro one. They're great, aren't they? There's another one by Dee, stencils in the background. Love this one. Dee was on fire. She obviously liked these. Another one by Dee. So these are all really Linda Spencer. So it's birthday at the top, banners at the bottom. Isn't that lovely? I know. Sheila Metzeler, repeat stamping. This is I don't even have to look. This is Eileen Godwin. So she wants to show you how to use this stamp, the Christmas one, but in this format, I bet, with a stencil involved. Sheila Metzeler, aren't these lovely? Jane Telford, repeat stamping. Very good indeed. Deborah Wheeler, great minds think alike. This is lovely. Who did this? Dee again. Very lovely. Gold embossed, don't they look sharp? Sarah Brennan. Doesn't that look lovely? Gold embossed. Happy Father's Day. Nice. Eileen. Striped stencil. Got to be done. Again, Eileen. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she comes up with the new Christmas one. But you can see there's very stars and stripes. See Debbie McMullen, that's lovely. But I just wanted to show you. These are small. These are all using that A4 set. That A4 set. Not the individual ones, but the one where you get all of them all in one set. These ones here. See? So they're still a good size stamp. They're not tiny, but they're nice. There's another one. Lovely. They're great, aren't they? That's a nice one. Who's that? Debbie McMullen. Lovely colours. So you can go bright and beautiful. There's Debbie McMullen again. Stars. She's downstairs helping us today. Thank goodness. There she is again. See? And this is a great one. Sonia Goodliff. I knew it'd be you. So she's put the happy birthday here. She used that at the side. And then she's just drawn a great big Victoria sponge. And then here's a nice set by Tina Morris. A set of notelets using embedders. Now, don't these look lovely? Check this out. All will be well again. It will, Tina. Retro circles. Happy birthday, happy birthday. These are so lovely. What a gorgeous gift these would make. All tied together. Really nice, actually, Tina. I always think that these make great gifts. Notelets like this. There we go. And it's all tied together with a matching ribbon. Nice, eh? Yeah, lovely. So there you go. So that is the Tina's Bijou Retro Elements and Sentiments A4 stamp set and the A6 stamp set together. There is the artwork, so you can see what you can do. Just as that wasn't even a quarter of the amount of artwork that we received from the team. for that one. And you know you're onto a winner when the design team flood you with artwork. And I'm sure that they will flood us with artwork with this as soon as they get their hands on it. So so I want to take this little stamp now back to the one that that I'm going to demonstrate now. Let's take a look. It's that little $8.99. Right. So let's check this out. And what I wanted to do was just mount that stamp first on a 4x4 mega mount. Let me pan out a little bit and let's just do, what have I done now? Hang on, I've pressed the wrong button. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to pan out a little bit and then I'll do a bit of artwork. Let me get started. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at some of the sizes of card we're using. So we've got our 3.5 by 3.5, which are these little quarters like that. They're nice. But then we've got another one, which is, this is 6 by 4.5. It's a very good size, okay? Very good size, 6 by 4.5, 31720. So you get, how many did you get? 50. It's a pack of 50, and they're 6 by 4.5 inches. These are 3.5 by 3.5. So you can get a pack of double pack like this, 31402, or a single pack, 31131. Either way, these are the numbers you want to be writing down, really. 31720. The reason I'm shining a light on this one, there's a reason why I've got these two out. So this, for example, let me show you. It's a good size. When you're doing mini makes, right, it's a good size. It's good top quality stencil card. The thing about it is, okay, when it cut it in half, here, I'll show you. When you cut it in half, like that, you get 4.5 by 3. 4.5 by 3, as opposed to 3.5 by 3.5. It's slimmer. Do you see? It's a different, obviously, it's 3 inches by 4.5. So I was going to show you how you can stamp this. It fits just perfectly onto this stamp, onto that size. So it's getting yield, isn't it, out of a piece of card is what I guess we're talking about here. So this one piece of this gives you 2 of these, which is exactly what I thought would be a good idea. So let's have a look. I'll get a piece of copy paper. I'm just going to get a piece of copy paper like this. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll use a yellow piece so that when you stamp white card, I've got a reference frame. Otherwise, white on white, it's not so easy for me. Right, now let's have a look. I'm going to use a black archival ink pad. Couple of people are asking if these products will be available at the open days. I think they will, dear. Yeah. All things being well, I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to get this ready for the open days. Okay. Yeah, that's the whole plan. But they're available now too. I understand if you get to the open days, then you can pop them in your basket while you're shopping there, obviously. Now let's have a look. We do take loads of things to the open days. Right, nice ink, black. We want a nice black solid ink. Let's take a look. And then I'm just going to stamp down the bottom like that and then press. Right, so let's see. Let's keep it simple. And we're just going to... See, these are great because they also, you can chop them up. You can cut them up. I'll show you. If you want just a single candle or a large one, or it's really cool. I'll show you a couple of little tricks. I'm pressing hard because I want a nice solid black, and I didn't test it first, which is, yeah, perfect. Okay, so I've got my black ink ready to go. And what I meant was, look, I can I can cut the bits out. So I've got little candles. I could do decoupage if I wanted to raise a couple of candles. I've got the word Christmas if I want to use that. So they're very chop-upable. That's what I mean. And this candle too can be tall. It can be, I can shorten it. See, I can make it taller. I can shorten it. So it's very, very handy. So we've got lots of different possibilities there. Then the other thing is, if I take, let me see if I can do this. So this time, let me take a 3.5 by 3.5. Let's see what happens. Let's lose the Christmas. Let's lose Christmas. And what I'll do is I'll link up the whole thing, but I'm going to go to the bottom here, right? So let me just show you. Different look. If you're making square cards, let's have a look. So I'll take that off there. Works for the happy birthday as well. See, that's why I needed the yellow, so I can see when I'm stamping onto white card, I can see through the stamp, I can see exactly where the yellow is, and I know that if I want to lose Christmas, then I know where to stamp off the card. Yeah, makes sense. Right. So let's have a look what we've got now. Pressing well. Different look. There we go. So now I've got another card, and we're ignoring the Christmas. We've left that on that piece of card there. But it's an easy thing to do. And if you've got, let's have a look. Where's my? Just bear with me a second. Where's my Sharpie pen? So I could take my Sharpie pen now, and I can integrate. So for example, I could take this edge and I'll just drag that through there. I can make this a bit smaller if I wanted to as well. Trim it back a bit. See, and then I can just use that black Sharpie pen because they're quite bold stamps. So I've got a really nice finish. I've got the same there. Here's one I did earlier where I made it a bit smaller, see? So I've thinned it out a little bit. Great little topper. So now let's talk about, see, it's nice because you start layering it up. See what I mean? It's very cool. Let's talk about colour. So what can we use for colour? I'll show you a trick. We've got during the course of the next couple of demos, I'll show you a couple of different colouring tricks. So the first one, we'll keep it simple, because when you're making cards, especially Christmas cards, it really, you usually make more than one, don't you? So you want to kind of be able to get through it. So I'm not saying that we churn out cards, but if you're making 10 or 12 or 15, if you think this might be a really nice card for you to actually make for Christmas, this is a really lovely topper. Let me show you a couple of tricks on how to colour them in. So I'm going to use a mix mat. Now I know it says oil on it, because I'm working not from home. See, when I'm at home, I've got my stash around me. When I'm at work and I haven't prepared my projects at home, then I don't have the stuff with me. So I'm winging it a little bit. But I forgot my mat, is basically what I'm saying. But I've got, let's have a look. Festive berries. Let's go for this. So I'm using Distress Oxides, the little miniatures, and I'm just going to go. I like these. These I do bring with me because it means I've got a great selection. So this will work with any of them. Okay, what I'm going to show you now works with any of them. If you've got them and you've got a water brush, let's have a look. Has that got water in it? Let me just check. Water brush. There we go. So I've got a little bit of water, and I've got a Distress Oxide. You could use, it doesn't have to be a Distress Oxide, it could be a normal distress pad, an Adirondack, a dye-based ink. This works with all of them, okay? As long as they're water-based. If you try this with an archival, it's a permanent ink pad, it won't work. But these are nice, this works lovely. So let me just show you, and then I'll show you one I did earlier. So we've got water. Should I come in a little bit? Let's have a look. And I'll just, it's a colouring trick. So if I take the water, see how you can really get a good wash. So I'm just going to bring that in. Right. So now I'm going to use that water to get a wash. And what I'm going to do is just use I've got a paper, like a kitchen towel. It's a bit big. I like them best when they're like, when there's nothing left. So you could literally, in fact, I'm going to make myself one, watch. I'm going to make myself one that I like. If I take, I don't know, have we got any glue run? Let me take a tape runner. Because they're great if you've just got them. Let's see if I've got a bit of, is there anything left on that or we run out? We really are down to the knuckle on these, aren't we, friends? See if I've got a little bit of, that's it, that's all I want, is a little bit of that on there. And then I could I'll take this one, I'll transfer a little bit of this. That I've got, I'll show you what I'm doing. I've got a little bit of the tape on there. Then I'm going to go like that and stick that on there like so. This is the dead one. See, I've got a new one and I've got one that's already had its day. It's been used up. But if I roll a couple of, see, that's brilliant because then I've always got the right amount. It's not too much. So it's a lot easier to work with that little thing than that great big thing. See, because I sit that on the table like that. And then when I'm colouring in and I'm using a lot of water, I've got an instant blotter right there. See, so I can lean on that. It's great. And I can squish it a bit too. Right, so I've got that give. So I can squish it and I can just take the excess out of it so I don't have to use too much. And then I can see exactly what I'm doing, see? And I'm just putting down a little bit of a wash, like halfway. See, just halfway across the candle. Very thin, that is. But that's okay. There's just a little bit of a wash there, like that. And on that side as well. Remember I said this is going to be quick. So let's just, the wetter it is, the more it will glide, easy. And I'm going like halfway over. Let's just add a little bit more colour because I'm thinking that it might be too light for the telly. Let's have a look. Can you see that okay? You want it to be light on this side, So I'm staying on that side. Right, we'll go in the candle as well. There you go. Let's just get a little bit of that colour going there. There we go. So it's really useful having this here. This is so useful because you can get rid of the excess, you see? Right. And then when it's dry, this is the thing, you have to wait until that's dry. And then we'll go in a bit, let's go in a bit darker. So now I'm going to bring a little bit more of the pigment in, see? But this time, I've gone halfway across the candle. So let's see. See, I don't want it to be, I can always add it, but I can't take it away. Let's see if I go in halfway along like that. See, it's not quite dry, so you're getting more of a bleed than a line. But I'll show you the difference. Let's have a play. So if I let this dry, it'd be a lot brighter and there'd be a definite line between the two, whereas these are bleeding in, which is quite nice. It's a different look. Like I'll show you. So it's more pigment, you see, more line, more colour there. So it's getting a bit more of a shadow, isn't it? Let's have a look. If I come in a bit closer, let me see if I come in really close, you can see it better. Yeah. So I'm picking up the colour, I'm using this, and then I'm going to come in here. As it dries, you'll see it bleeds better. It just sits, it's more defined. But you know what? It's good enough. But we'll compare. Let me see if I blot it. See, if I blot it, I get rid of half the colour again, but maybe not. Let me just see. No. Right. See if that's dried a bit better. We'll go in another colour. We'll go in a little bit further over. This time I'll come to here and I'll come into there. See it dragging? I didn't do underneath. Here, look, spot the error. That's all right. me see. I've got to start with the lighter colour. I've got to go over here to bring the light colour in. Yeah. So just to recap, half in like that. Right, so that gives me a little bit more wiggle room. Let's try these ones now. So this is definitely not dry. So you can see how it's just bleeding over a little bit, which is actually quite nice. I'll show you the difference in a minute. There you go. See, and then as it gets dry, so I'm going half, 3/4, see what I mean? And as you get closer to the edge, this one now, get closer to the edge, it gets darker. And these pens are so good, these water pens, because they just give you enough of a like wetness to not drag, you know, it's just enough. Then when it gets dry, so you can get it darker and darker and darker and more concentrated over that side. So I need to come in this way here a little bit. So I'll go a bit further over. See? But you can see I started at the lightest one and then let it dry, add the next one. See, there needs a little bit of depth there. And if this were dry underneath, it would be more intense. The color would be more intense. There you go. But let's take a look at one that I did earlier, right? That's dried, and you can see the difference. This one, I let the layers dry before I added the next layer. So you can see there's a definite line between layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. Whereas this has bled over. I'm not saying, I mean, I like that, but it's entirely up to you. Do you see what I've done? Let's take this one now, because this is definitely dry. I did it ages ago. Well, I did it an hour ago, right? But you can see here, for example, because it's dry, when you come in, you get a defined line, and it doesn't. And the magic of these pens, what I love, now I'm going into the darkest area of my ink, and I can come in over the top of the dry watercolor, and I can really get kind of a 3D effect. See? I'm taking my darkest color now, undiluted, but the paintbrush still gives me enough wetness that it moves the ink. It's very nice to do, very quick to do as well. Okay, so you can see how nicely that works. Tricks and tips. And then as far as cleaning these goes, if you just squeeze out, do that, you can use another color on them. All done. There you go. And this, for example, I could leave that on that mix mat and use it. I could leave that there for weeks if I had loads of mix mats, but I'm going to wipe this off because I know if I don't, I know it's a waste of ink, but if I don't do that, I know I'm going to lean into it and then I'll have it everywhere. Okay, so trick number 1 with this particular little stamp is how to use a mix mat with an ink pad and a brush. Okay, that'll do. That's the first one. And then you can see how you can use parts of the stamp. So I wanted to just pop that over there. And then I want to show you another trick. Okay, so now I will take one of the 3.5 by 3.5 inch cards, what we were talking about earlier. So 3.5 by 3.5, you can see here, double pack. Let me tell you, well worth getting. 31402 is for the double pack. If you just want a single pack, then that's a pack of 100, 31131. So you get 200 if you buy them like that. Right, now let me show you this. So this time I'm going to go for this stamp set. Let's have a look. Let's take a look at the words that are in the stamp set that comes with the A4 sampler. So I want to look at these words. I'm going to use this one. This one says, happy birthday. When I looked at it, I thought, do you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of a candle. So let's get arty and let's take this one and let's take I mean, there are loads of words here that are so useful. If we take a look at the actual printout, then you can see exactly, I think you can see better like that. Happy birthday, best wishes, happy Father's Day, have a great day. Love and hugs, good luck, special day wishes, hello, with love, celebration, happy Father's Day. See, this retro set is very a male kind of, to my mind, when I look at these, you know, we always say, oh, what, I haven't got any stamps for men. These are all fantastic stamps for men. I think this is what Tina's thinking was with this set, down to the ties. So this is a very, they're feminine too. I mean, it depends entirely what colours you use, you know, like that's obviously for a girl. But the point I'm making is that the stamps are quite masculine. They're quite masculine designs, which are really the banners and the flags and the stars and the, you know, it's quite nice. And now we're just looking at the words that Jazz designed to go with them. So if I take piece of 3.5 by 3.5, just a trick. It's not a finished card. We saw plenty of finished cards. Let me just ink up Black Archival again. Just going to ink up the stamp, and I'm just going to pop happy birthday. I really like this this stamp. Just looks good, you know. Let me take that stamp now. Come in a bit closer, friends, so you can see what I'm doing, hey? Right. Then I'm going to use, I don't need that. Then I'm going to use a micron pen. It's an 05 micron pen. So we have sets of micron pens on the show. I'll show you. So we sell packs of 7 of them. And we're always in the shack, we're always using the 005 and the 01. And I'm now using the 05 because it ties up with what I want to draw. If you're interested in these are really like the go-to for most graphic designers and artists. You get 7 of them, 30778. These are water-fast. They don't, like I could do the watercolor brush with this and with this pen, and it wouldn't bleed. So let's have a look. I'm going to take this pen and I'm going to hold it. Let me come in a bit closer so you can see. So I'm going to draw a candle basically, and I'm holding it upright so that it's a little bit jiggly, just like the original ones are. Look, see, they're a little bit jiggly. They're not, then they're hand drawn, they're not computer generated. So now I'm going to come out a little bit like to there, and I'm going to come out to there. Right, candle. There. So now I know where I'm going. I've made a little dot, and now I'm just going to drag the pen. But because I'm holding it upright, it jiggles a bit, which is what I'm after. There. So now I've done that. That's the base of the candle, basically. See, the happy birthday won't fit in there, but I can make the it's easier to draw the candle than it is to try and write happy birthday in there. Right, next. So I want to draw the candle part, don't I? The flame. But what I'm going to do is draw it with my hand first. So I'm going to draw a candle like so. So I'm going to draw it with a pencil. It's just easier. And it's so light that you can't even see what I've drawn. But it certainly helps me when I go in now and I draw a candle flame. Then I'm going to do the wick like that. And then I'm going to look at what Tina's done. Little retro dot, slightly larger dot, and another dot. So now you can see it's really useful. So say I've done that now. Cool. And then I think, right, what am I going to do now? So it'd be nice if I had something to put here. It's quite funky, it's quite zany, but what do I have? Enter my triangle people. Yeah. So I've got these triangle people that we drew. Funny enough, we drew these in the summer retreats. Yes, we did. And we've got them in 3 different sizes, because size, it's all about perspective, isn't it? So we've got them in A6, A5, and then we've got a huge set of A4, which funnily enough was the one that everybody went for in the retreat. It was the one, because of the technique that we were doing, these were great. So we got A4, and I'm sure that Paul will have dropped them into the shop for you. I'm going to take a look at A5 because this is mini makes. So I want to see which ones. I'm thinking A5 on this. See, so I can take these and I can happy birthday, and I can set these. Look, oh, look. I think that little girl there would be brilliant. Don't you? See, wedding. That's lovely as well. The 2, they're lovely. What about that one for a little girl? That one there. I'm holding up, I'm offering up the stamps to decide. If I wanted to use that, I have to move the candle over a bit. Fair enough. Nobody's getting any younger, are they? Happy birthday. She's great. Oh, Barbara, make your mind up. Okay, I'm going to go with her. She's good. She'll be lovely. So I'm going to replace that on my stamp set there. That's my candle. And now I'm going to stamp her into there. It's just ideas, you know. And I'm going to go with a black archival ink pad, because that way, if I do my colouring trick with my, let me just check that the ink's good, because this is a brand new stamp. Yeah, good enough. Don't need to press so hard, Gray. One for test, one for best. Let's have a look. I'm going to pop her down. She's quite tall, so I think I'll pop her down there. Right. Perfect. There you go. So we've got her in place. She's lovely. That's all done. And you know that I could take any one of those. I can colour that in just as I did before. Pick a colour, any colour. You pick the person's favourite colour, and then you go with that, don't you? So say, for example, teal, and then you pick out the teal, you pick out your brush, you've already done that. Yeah, and then off you go. You see, now, if I didn't have that, if I didn't have the mix mat, how am I going to do this? I need a mix mat in order to mix up the colours, to dilute the colour, and that's where the mix mat comes in absolutely perfectly. Because I know you say, well, I could use anything. I could use a piece of plastic. You could, but it hasn't got the purchase. The mix mats have got like texture on them, and they hold the ink, just in case you were wondering. Anyway, for some reason I've lost mine. But that's okay, because I've got another demo I want to show you. Okay, so that's it. Let's have a look. We've done the colouring like that. We know that if we dry, we get more of a graduation, which I like that look. And now you could apply exactly the same to this girl and that. The black archival and the Micron pen are both water proof, so they won't bleed. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a little recap, and then I'll show you. I'm going to show you something really smashing. All right, really smashing. So this is the brand new Christmas retro candle stamp that we're working with. And it's the item code is 12231. And you can see it's £8.99 or £7.64 if you're if you're a Diamond Club member. KISS. If you're wondering what KISS stands for, it says it on the packet. Keep it simple, which was something that we came up with when during lockdown, we decided we needed to keep it simple. And then we looked at the A4 sampler. You can see here, this is a huge A4 stamp set with loads and loads of different images, and also an A6 set of really lovely words. I just used the happy birthday in the top left-hand corner to draw that actual candle that we just did, which was cool. Right, so loads and loads of mileage, as you can see there. The item code for both of these is 11953. The price, you save £5 off the retail price for both stamp sets. You'll be paying $37.98 plus your club discounts below. Then we did actually take a look at the big, beautiful, bold collections. There are two of them where we took all Tina's designs and split them up into 6 different A5 sets. These are the first 3, 11812. These are the candles, banners and hearts and leaves. So start again, Barbara. Banners, candles, hearts and leaves. There you go. You can see de trois. That's £57.97, saving £5 plus your club discounts. Then there was a second set, 11813. These are retro set number 2, bubbles, stars, and triangles. Really lovely. These are 3 A5 stamp sets. And these are also £57.97, saving £5 off the top, plus, of course, your club discounts. So now I want to show you. See, I can't do that and do this. So now I can waffle, and I'll show you a third trick. So I've told you about our triangle people. They're lovely, and I'm sure that Grace will have put up the codes for those, or Paul will have. But I think that they work really nicely with this kind of design. They've got that kind of funky, modern, young design. What I wanted to show you, though, was what's coming up at the open days. I know that loads of you are coming, and it's going to be great. And what we found was that there are loads of new things coming through. Like Eileen, she wanted this stamp. Eileen also wanted a load of florals and leaf stamps, big bold ones. So I drew them for her a couple of weeks ago. They've been made. Then Sam Crow, she got some really funky Christmas tree stamps, beautiful. So we've made those, and she's designed a load of bow wallpapers. We're making those as well. That's going to be launched at the shows. Then Linda and I, we've designed some super stuff for our workshops on the Sunday, and some of that will be available on the Saturday too. Although we do like to try and keep a couple of surprises for our guests on the Sunday. So one of the things that I want to show you, you may recall that we did these landscapes. These have been hugely popular. And they are, at first glance, when you look at them, you think, what on earth is all this? But these are actually superb. Oh, I can't tell you. We can't keep up with how many we sell of these. And they're landscape backdrop prints. And they come ready to stamp, doodle, and create your own scenes. But here's the thing. Take a look at that. And what can you see? Okay, so 7 by 7 inch, cool. 21 sheets, 21 designs. Okay, got ya. Ah, spring and summer. Spring and summer. spring and summer. So what does that tell us? That's right, autumn and winter are coming up. And so I want to show you, because what that means is that we have to start making new backgrounds, changing the colours. And it's all go at the moment. Jazz and Lisa work on this. And I want to show you the final draft. Now they can go into print. So I'm a bit of a fussy so-and-so when it comes to this stuff. Oh, not the right color. Sometimes we change the colors a little bit. I've got my original artwork. When it gets printed, so that it's not shiny, we have to adjust the saturation. I know this is all very technical, but that sometimes changes the color. So then we have to change the filter to change the saturation to try and get back to the original. So then I go, no, that's not like the original, is it? That's not what I did, is it? So, you know, so we've tried and tried and tried to get as close to my originals as we can. And finally, Jazz and Lisa, I think they've nailed it. So let me just show you. If I pan out a little bit, you can see they give it to me on A3. This is 2 pieces here. And this is the way, so this is winter. So winter, colds, blues, teals, turquoises, really beautiful. We've got some pinks, got lilacs, bit darker. Oh no, we're starting to a little bit more autumnal, bit more heather. Yeah, very nice. These are going to be fantastic. Little lighter, but this is the one I'm after. That one there. I needed that for what we're doing on the Sunday. See? So these are very autumnal. Heathers, changing leaves, colours, lilacs, greens. Very different. When you hold them up against the other set, they are very different indeed. So hours and hours of work have gone into these, and we're going to be launching them on, I think on Saturday actually, Friday and Saturday, or maybe just Sunday, I don't know. But either way, they're ready to rock and roll. We're going for it. We have liftoff. We have liftoff. And so I've picked one and I've trimmed it already, and I'll show it to you. So I picked a background because often, and I'm going to go with this stamp again, often when you take a stamp, you know, we've been stamping on white, and then you start with a blank canvas, don't you? And sometimes it's just easier to stamp onto something that's already got a flash of colour. Do you see what I mean? And the thing about these printed backdrops is that it's not a flood. They're really cool to use. So you can see if you did the alcohol ink, online workshop with me, then you'll know how we made these. Right, and the thing about them is that they have this white set in the middle. The whole idea is to have this piece in the middle. So then the landscapes, they're either up there, or so you've got lakes, you can turn it around this way. That can be the sky, this can be the valley, this can be the front, this can be, there's a real reason why we've done this way. So let's say, for example, I could get 2 out of this. That's the next thing. I could definitely get 2 out of this if I stamp it correctly. And what I like about this is I've got the colours at the top and the bottom, but I've got a little bit of white in the middle. And that gives me my wiggle room for when I'm colouring, do you see? Because I'm not going straight into, I mean, I could go into the colour like that. I could get 4 out of it if I do that. I could stamp it there, and there. And then just the flames are in the white area. And I just have to colour that in. So it's entirely up to you where you stamp it. But it's quite interesting how much easier, how much less pressure when you're stamping onto a piece of already printed coloured paper or card. Okay, so I'll take this, and again I'm going to use a black archival ink pad, will give me a really good cover. I've decided where I want to put it. I've already offered it up and decided. And if I'm not sure, I can always use this and say, okay, so if I want to get 2 out of this, then I know what makes good sense is to decide, where am I going to place them? Where am I going to set? See, it's too dark for me there. But I want to get that lovely, I want the pink in there. I'm going to go there. And it will cut down the middle and I can put another one there. See? So I know exactly where I'm going. That will work a charm. Just like that. Bosh. Okay. And there'll be room over here to do the same again. So let's just ink this up nicely. Yeah, so the first 2 demos that I did were all on white card. This one, we're going for it on coloured card. And then we're just going to use the black archival. So this is the thing with these printed toppers. You can stamp straight over the top. You can doodle over the top. So this works. This works. The watercolour works. Me, at this point, I'm probably going to go for a different way to colour in because I want more opacity. There you go. Perfect. I want more non-see-throughness. Okay, so watercolor, unless it's undiluted, is quite transparent, isn't it? That's the whole beauty of it. That's what we were doing earlier. Okay, somewhere, I don't know where I've put them, but you know what I mean. It's very watery. That's the whole point of watercolor, right? Diluted inks. So what we're going to use to color in is polychromos, pergoliners, the B pencils, the wax or oil-based pencils. You can get opacity by building up layers, but you can get a blend of the two. I'm going to show you how. So let's go to this. Let's say we've done that, and then I want to make sure it's dry. So I've cut it, right? I've cut it in half. So that's done. Right, and then once I've done that, I can settle into a nice colouring session. So I'm going to have white behind me, and I'm going to pick a couple of colours that I know look really nice with this. They sit well with this. Right, next exciting thing. It took a while, but we got there in the end. Okay. Also going to be available at the open days. We're just designing the packaging at the moment. Polychromos. So we've got a set of 12 polychromos that have got the greys and the neutrals and the dark greys for shading, for drop shadows, the fleshy colours, the silvers, the metallics, the gold, the copper, I think, or bronze, all the metallic ones. Sure, we've got, just bear with me a second and let me just see if I can find. We used to have a pack of 12 of them here somewhere. It's all right. I'm not well organised and I'm on me jack, but set of 12 pencils. Grace will bring it up on the screen for you. Anyhow, so I did some thinking about this because we've run out of pergoliners. This is the truth of it. We've run out of pergoliners pretty much. And in order to order more, we have to order like thousands, many thousands of these pencils. And we can't afford many thousands. And also it would take about a year to get here, right? And we've tried, we did consider it, and but very difficult, it didn't work. And so I said, you know what? Let's go to the Rolls-Royce. Let's not invest in pergoliners. Let's go to the polychromos. If we've got this budget, we're going to spend it on colouring pencils. Why don't we spend it on the ones I love, really love? We inherited pergoliners. They're good, you know, don't get me wrong. They do the job. They definitely do what it says on the tin. But anybody that's got polychromos will agree with me that they are mwah, the Rolls Royce. Okay, so you get what you pay for. Trouble is, they cost so much money. So what I said was, I'm going to put together 4 sets for 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And I'm going to put 6 pencils in each season, right? To me, it makes it more affordable. So basically, by the time you've got the set of 12 shadow pencils, which most of you have got, and then you go for spring, summer, autumn, and winter, right? You got a really cool collection, and you can build the collection. You don't have to buy the lot in one hit, right? So these ones, for example, I've got my bags of spring, summer, autumn, winter. I'll show you the sets. I'll show you how we work here, right? So I spent hours going through this to make sure that the colours are right. And you can see, I mean, this is just a photocopy. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter. There are no duplicates, obviously not. They're very different, and they work in, like, this is how I've put them together. Even if you've just got spring, they work well. If you've got summer, they work well. If you've got autumn and spring, they work in combination. So you're building up a really good palette of color. That was my thinking behind it. And I thought it would be a really nice thing. You know, I mean, loads of you've got loads of polychromos because I've been banging on about them for decades. Because they are, for me, they're the best colouring pencils in the business. It's just my opinion, okay? And opinions are like noses, and everyone's got one, but that's my opinion. Faber-Castell polychromos are mwah. And so at the open days, we will start to have these little sets, and we buy them individually. We cherry pick the colours that I like. We put them in the spring, summer, autumn, and winter collection. So now you've got the 4 lovely yellows, the 4 beautiful blues, maybe you've got some more teals. You've got everything you need in those 4 sets. There you go. In those 5 sets, because you got the greys in the other one. We took them out ages ago. Do you remember? So that's how it works. And these are the colours that tee up fantastic with this pen. And it all ties in with the spring, summer, autumn, and winter prints as well. It all ties in beautifully with that. Just saying. I know. So that was quite a big decision for us to make, to go to Faber-Castell. No, we're not gone to Faber-Castell, but to invest our money instead of in our own brand in the Faber-Castell polychromos, because they are top banana, you know. And I've always said it, haven't I? So it's not like, oh, she's changed her mind. Well, she hasn't. She's always said the same thing. Now, let's have a look at these beautiful colours. Let's come in a bit closer. See, and then what we're going to do, for example, see, so you can, you know, like we were using the colours before. Look, circles, just round and round and round, light circles. What pink am I using? Well, let me check. This one is Pink Madder Lake. Pink Madder Lake. So I'm just going to put a little bit of Pink Madder Lake on there. Circles. Circulatory. That's how we're going to colour in. Do the same on that one. Just a little bit of pink, just to give it a little bit of difference to the background. Right. Now, so the down here now, let's go down here. So you can go really lightly. And when I get to this one, I'm going to go half, just half, like that. Okay, and then I'll take my light blue. Which blue am I using? Light ultramarine. And then I'm going to come in halfway. So I'm kind of blending those two together there. But you see, all the time I'm looking at the background. And the background really works well with the colours I've picked. So light colours. Now what have I got here? Ah, ultramarine. So you got light ultramarine, ultramarine. There's a method in her madness. Ah. So now this is ultramarine, okay, but it automatically, without pressing harder, is a shade darker. I like that too. So now you can see how you can build up your color. This is such a therapeutic. So what we're going to do is, this is a good exercise in depth as well. So you start light, then you come down a bit darker, and you come a bit darker again, and you swap to the light blue, and you get a blend in the middle, half and half. There you go, that's the half and half mark. And then from there, really, we want to start moving into a darker. But do you see how I'm working in layers, look. And you do this, and you build this up. Let me take, just like we did before, you know how before I came out with the watercolor to here, and then, so this time, let me just take a little bit of the light blue, light ultramarine, really lightly. I'm going to put a shadow on this side. So I'm just coming down here. See, when I hit the printed background, I probably want to take the darker pencil. Do you see? Makes it easy for me. I think these are going to be super popular, these spring, summer, autumn and winter. I just thought, I mean, I've been working with Faber-Castell Polychromos for as long as I can remember. And I know my colours, and I know which ones work well together. Right now, see, and I'm just taking that pencil. God, it's so fantastic. See how you can get a really cool, come in a bit closer so you can see it. So you can get, so I've used the ultramarine over the top. I'm celebrating that we've got these in the cupboard. There you go. We're just going to just look on the website. Not at the moment. I don't think we've got them on the website yet, but we will have soon. But you see how you can build this up? Just 3 colours. Now let's take another look at that. And this is where you get to see how powerful the pigment is in a polychromo. There you go. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about opacity. See the colour here? Right, watch. So you're going to take that through to there. And then you're just going to... Strong pencils. They're very, very strong. That they don't crumble either. Very, very strong pencils. I love them. Look at that. Dynamite. Worth every penny. There we go. Not nice. And then back to our products. Right. Well, these are ours as well now. Right. But if I take these ones, I'll show you that you can, with a dry blending pen, this is just a dry nib. I don't have to put oil on it. I could if I wanted to, but I'm just smoothing out the pigment, and it just takes that gritty kind of pencil look and it makes it smoother. Just going through there like that. I'm going to the blue first, and then when I get to the pink, just take that pink and then smooth it round there. And you probably can't see the difference, but I can here from this plate, from where I'm standing. It's really just smooths it out, makes it really lovely. There you go. And you can add Dorso oil if you like. But you can see just how lovely these colours are. And then here's one that I did a little bit earlier, and you can see how you can just, I haven't, just add a little bit more at the base here, add a little bit more colour in there, mix the colours up a little bit, make it a little bit grungier. I've added a little bit more colour all round here. And you can see just how thick and creamy these oily pencils are. And so once you've got that, you can then, let's take a 7x7. Let me pan out a little bit. I like 7x7 is a good size for this. I can make this smaller. I can make this 6x6, but I think that the design lends itself very nicely to this particular size. And now, as far as how do I finish this off? So you've got quite bold black lines on the inside there. So my personal preference at this point would be to just do what we did before. So we'll just take our Sharpie pen, and then we'll just run that down there. Watch what I do when I do this, because people go, she's done all that work, and then she might just go straight across. Watch my fingers here. Let me show you. When I do this, it's these fingers that hold the artwork in place when I go down. So look, see my fingers? Look, I'll do it as if I weren't using the pen, right? See, the fingers are going down there. So when I come down like that, that has held that in place while I'm not like that. I'm like that. Do you see? I'm not holding it like that, friends. I'm holding it like that. So that means that as I come down, even if I come off the page, it holds it for me. See? Tricks and tips, tricks and tips. So then that's going to get stuck on there like so. Nice, nice, nice. Right? And then Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. And then it's up to you whether what would look really nice, it might be a single candle right there, like so, coloured in the same way. Doesn't that look I see? I like that look. I like that look. Another thing that might work really well, Happy Christmas. What about me triangle people? Wouldn't they look cool? I think so. Let me see. Merry Christmas. Yeah. See, they work. They work really well. In fact, at this point, I'm looking. Let's do that. They look great, don't they? There. Merry Christmas. Those two would work really well. So if you've got the triangle people, it's a wedding one. Not so good. She's great, isn't she? Those three are good. I'll show you. Merry Christmas. Doesn't that look lovely to the family? You see? Or I haven't got that. Nice. Yeah. Very nice. Do you know what would look good as well? If you repeat stamped, if you had several of these and you just repeat stamped all the different characters right across in the background, all the way along the back, and then you pop that over the front. That would look really cool too. Just ideas. Ideas, friends. So there you go. That's that. And then how would I stick that down? Well, what would I use? I'd use one of these. We've run out of these. And again, you see, we can't afford, I'm telling you all our basic tricks, all our secrets here, but we can't afford to buy 10,000 of these. That's not even funny, is it? I mean, you worry about buying 4 of them. Imagine if I said to you, you need to buy 10,000 of them. Well, I don't think there are 10,000 people in the country that would. So I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. I wish I could. Back in the heady days, we were able to order 10,000. Now we can't. Just being honest. It's the way it is. And when you say, oh, why don't you order more? Trust me, if I could, I would. So, 2-finger trick. What we're going to do is just hold this now. Now, you got to decide. Do you want to open this way or do you want to open from the bottom? I'm a bottom opener, so to speak. So I'm going to, and I like, actually, see, I hold it with 2 fingers. So eyeball it, like where it is, pop it down. Now it's there. If I was going to do any of the, like a bit of ribbon or something in the background, I'd have to do that before I stick it down. But I'm going to keep it simple for today. I just wanted to show you that brand new, beautiful stamp that is on your screens at the moment for a mere £8.99. You too could be the proud owner of that lovely retro Christmas, brand new, hasn't been out of the building yet, that brand new stamp. So there we go. And I think that would look rather nice too. And it doubles up as a birthday stamp. And you can draw it yourself once you've got the words. So can you hear that rain? Can you hear that rain? It is tipping down outside. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. That's 1.5 hours. And thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope there was something here that is of interest to you. Like I say, the main thing is this stamp here. And of course, the Mini Makes Retro A4 set, which is absolutely marvelous. And I hope that you take full advantage of those prices. So thank you very much for joining me. As far as what else is going on this week at Clarity, let me just flag that up for you so you can see. Tomorrow morning, Groovy Tuesday at 10 o'clock with Louise. Then at 1 o'clock on Hobbymaker, over on Hobbymaker TV, Paul will be showcasing those amazing angels. You remember those beautiful parchment angels? Well, they're over on TV tomorrow. At 2 o'clock, Louise will be back here. And then at 5 o'clock, Paul will be over on Hobbymaker again with some beautiful MIDI plates. Wednesday, it will be the next installment of the paid online course for Pico cutting. That will be Louise and Paul. And then the Ditton events, of course, from Thursday, most of us will be there starting to, can you hear it? On Thursday, we'll be setting up, ready to welcome all our guests and friends on Friday and Saturday. And then, of course, we've got the workshops, Linda and myself, on Sunday. So, so there you go. Without further ado, I'll let you go. And don't forget, if you're going to shop online, it's www.claritystamp or claritycrafts.com. If you'd like to speak to a friendly voice, then Sue is always on the phones, 01732 868 215. And other than that, thank you so much for your custom, your loyalty, and your friendship. And Gracie, thanks very much. Can't wait to see you.